Hello guys and welcome back to the STPL Season 3. We're going to be watching our second series of today. It's going to be ReV versus EF. Should be a lot of fun. But just to go through the format in case you're new to the STPL, all the series are best of 5, set 1 to set 4, are played at the same time. The lineups are selected and advanced to the teams in advance. And set 5 is the ace match, which means any player can compete again. And other maps are going to be Hitchhiker, Monty Hall SE, Core Breach, Tripod, Andromeda, Byzantium 3, Fantasy 2, and La Mancha. If you don't know these maps, you're about to see some games on them, and they're really good. So hopefully you enjoy the games as much as I have so far this season. Let's introduce our first set of players here. Starting us off is going to be Eternal Friends. Now, the only time that EF have met ReV in the past, they did win. They've only met them once so far because they joined us in Season 2 and they only played the one group stage. But EF have got a very strong roster. They've got Terra, they've got Cruzago, they've got Gosudark, and they've got Chaylin. Now, Gosudark and Chaylin are actually undefeated. Now, Gosudark did play against Cross in their previous series, but the game is not going to be counted because it was a messy series. It was basically a 3-game walkover series, so there's no point. But Chaylin sent me a photo of herself for today, so finally got that up and ready. Bunny Girl Chaylin. With you can't see it in that one, but in the bigger picture of her, you can see that she's got like bunny ears as well. Really cute. But let's have a look at their opponents. It's going to be ReV. ReV, really strong European team. In Season 1 they struggled. In Season 2 we saw the advent of the Medinho Avilov double wombo combo that basically catapulted them through the group stage. Avilov, unfortunately, at the end of the season did decide to retire from, I'm going to say, professional Brood War, but we do have Sugo joining their roster from Naz as well, so he's kind of replaced Abby in that dynamic duo. And I mean, Medinho and Sugo are both really good players. Medinho definitely by far the star player on ReV now. CRVT, no slouch himself either. And Narsil is probably the one that struggled the most, but for the first time in a very long time he got a win in his previous series, so he's going to be looking to add to that today, although he's in a rough position with his first opponent. Now, Terra against Narsil, going to be a TVP to start us off. Should be interesting, but I think Terra, the Peruvian powerhouse, should have a little bit of an edge. But the rest of the series could be quite close. We've got Cruzago versus Medinho in a TVP on Monty Hall. A PvP between Sugo and Gosudark, which should be really good on La Mancha. And then a PvZ between Chaylin and CRVT on Tripod. Not really sure where this is going to go, but I'm interested because I think this could be one of our closer series this season for sure. Both of these teams doing very well at the moment, and both of them with very strong rosters as well. So let's introduce our first couple of players to get us started. Starting, of course, is the Peruvian powerhouse himself in Terra. Now, Terra was getting close to the top 10, and then his double loss against Koga in their series against Net Wars has actually knocked him down a few ranks. So he's going to be trying to force his way back up, but he's still done an incredible amount against Protoss. I mean, a 65% win rate overall as well, over 47 games in the STPL is ridiculous. So no slouch here. Unfortunately, Narsil does not have the same kind of successes, but Narsil's still a fun player to watch. He did beat Pre in their match against DM last week, so... Oh, sorry, that wasn't last week. That was a while ago now, man. That was over a month ago. I thought that was recently, but apparently not. But yeah, Narsil's Portuguese. I think he's the only Portuguese player in the entire STPL, so that's pretty cool. I still need to reverse the order when displaying the last 5 games. I do. Please, if you've got me on Discord or you know my Team Liquid username or Twitter, message me on there so I'll remember, because I completely forgot. Oh man, I'm so bad at forgetting things after I cast. Like, as soon as I finish the cast, I just chill, basically, and then I'm like, I'll remember everything the next day. I sleep and I wake up and I've forgotten everything. It's all good. But let's have a look at the map stats we're going into. We are going to be going into Fantasy 2 for the first time this week. We've actually had 2 walkovers on this map so far. But this is a very, very fun map. PvT has been incredibly Protoss favored so far. But when you look at some of the players that have played here a lot, we've had 2 games of Bonneth in the last 5. And Bonneth, I mean, he's the best Protoss player outside of Korea by far. So it's rough. We've also had DeWalt here. DeWalt faced up against Whip, who unfortunately did not manage to hold his own. And Terran here aren't doing too bad either. Ziggy beating Dark, Kogut taking down Oya, both of those relatively similar skill levels of games, I would say. Kogut I'd maybe give the edge over Oya, but overall a really, really good set of series we've had here. And I'm looking forward to getting into the game, so let's start it off. Okay, the game has begun, and starting us off here in the bottom left-hand position in the Sin Gamer Go On spawn, it's fighting from Peru. It's Terra, the Peruvian powerhouse. And his opponent spawning up here in the Legacy of Char spawn in the red. Fighting for ReV, it's Narsil. Ghostuvigi asking, what's up, what's DeWalt up to? Well, on this Sunday, he actually played against Shine on, I believe it was La Mancha. So we're going to have Shine... Was it La Mancha? Yeah, it was La Mancha. So we're going to have Shine versus DeWalt on Friday, which should be really, really sick. And there's a thunderstorm outside. Good timing. Hopefully it'll cool things down a little bit though. That means I should probably close my window. I'll get all those little midges that fly in afterwards otherwise. Shine is the... I don't know if he's the ASL observer. But he may be. I know he used to be, I think. But he is still technically a pro. He is in his military service at the moment. But he is able to play off-stream games, so that's why he's in the STPL. Gateway coming up here for Narsil. Terra, meanwhile, going for a very standard build. Terra also building his depot here, which not only helps against Zealots, it also makes his gas mining a little bit more efficient, so nicely done. Now the probe did scout first, which is very good for Narsil, because he's going to know exactly what to expect. Terra did pull off of gas, so it's going to be an expansion build coming in from him. We've got a core coming up behind the gateway, so it's not going to be 2-gate or anything crazy. And it looks like we could go into at least a macro mid-game to begin us here, which is quite nice. Now for Terra, I would say that this base is probably a little bit easier to hold on to within expansion. You can build a bunker here, you can get a siege tank on the high ground here, and it makes it very difficult for Protoss to bust you. Now there are some really funky things that Protoss can do, like they can build a ReV up here, and then they can walk it towards your natural, which can kill the bunker and things like that. Now, still no gas being mined here for Terra. This is actually a very late put back into gas, which makes me think he's going to go into mines rather than siege. If you want to go for siege first, you would more than likely put the... I think you put the gas SCVs back on around 750 health on the factory. That gives you enough time to get enough gas to get siege and tank at the same time, but... we still don't have a command center coming in here yet for Terra, so he is delaying that as well. I feel like I'm missing something. Like Terra, he's bought a lot of Marines, so I guess he's going to go for an FD push, but it just feels like he doesn't have everything on the right times here, and I can't work out where his extra money's gone. I guess the extra Marines do start to add up. He's obviously been constantly building SCVs as well. Now, is Narsil going to be ready for this? He's got a second gateway coming up, which is pretty good. You do need those 2 gates. You need to push forward as far as possible to try and get in to help defend against this. And Erob saying that Terry used this build order on his stream yesterday and said it's unstoppable. So let's see if Narsil can manage to hold on to this. Narsil historically hasn't done as well in the STPL, but if Narsil can move forward far enough, like he has done, he can move back and start to snipe some of these Marines. And that is a very important thing to do. If the Marines and the tanks get to your base, it's pretty much game over. So let's see how Narsil's going to hold on. We still do not have an expansion command center coming up here for Terra. Narsil moving forward, going to keep an eye on the health of the Dragoons, as that's the most important thing in this game right now. Sniping the mine, nicely done. But oh my god, the Marines are still pushing forward here. The Vulture survives as well. And Terra's going to be able to get to the main base. Now, I think a Vulture just killed a probe. I don't know where the probe actually was, but looks like the Dragoons have managed to kill off all of the Marines, which is nice. There is one left. But this is really nice micro from Narsil. This is really, really nice. He manages to hold on. He only loses a single Dragoon there and does clear up all of the army from Terra. He even gets the tank as well, which is pretty big. That's really, really nicely done by Narsil there. Now Terra is going for an expansion behind this. He's going into a second factory as well. Narsil going to get ready to expand as well behind this robot. And just while we get into a little bit of a lull in the game, I just want to say a massive shout out to our sponsors, Liquipedia, Esport Fund and Matcherino, for being so fantastic. Now, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Losing those Dragoons is not something you want to get to lose 2 more! Oh no! Narsil was in such a good position, and then he ran into mines. Oh dear. That is not what you want to see as a Protoss player. I'm a Terran, so I kind of like it. But it looks like Terra going to come in here. He's going to be able to snipe the extra Dragoons as well if he wants to. He knows there's no observer. He's going to get on the high ground, put some mines up here as well. And this is definitely risky. Although, where is his mines? Oh, he used them all. He used them all to kill the Dragoons from before. Well, he kills one of the Dragoons at least, but that definitely wasn't the best push in with those Vultures. That definitely could have been a lot worse than it actually was, so good on Narsil for being able to do that. But I can't help but wonder if he had 4 more Dragoons right now, if he could just push. Like, when he gets an observer, there's no... Like, think about what Terra has at this moment in time. There's 2 siege tanks. He's got no Marines, and he's got no Vultures. But the fact is that Narsil lost those 4 Dragoons. May have been 5 in the end, actually. And now he doesn't have the ability to push, and this gives Terra a way back into the game. Now, we've got a... I would say this is kind of a trademark Terra move here, going for a starport very, very quickly in TVP. He does like his drops. It also allows you to go for Wraith as well, which does help against any Reavers. Now, I've pointed this out when we've watched this game or watched this map before, but this is a very, very good map for drops, so Terra definitely going to be making sure he can make good use of them. And you also gain access to this island base as well as Terra, which is really, really good to take. Now the one problem with going for the early starport in TVP and going for the push that Terra did is you delay your armory. And if you don't have armory, it means your later upgrades, your 2-1, your 3-2, is very heavily delayed. Now the first observer is going to get taken down, which is a massive win for Terra. But Narsil is getting ready to expand to the top right. Now, what I was mentioning the upgrades for is basically in TVP, if you're behind in upgrades late game, all of a sudden arbiters become a lot more scary, and so do carriers. If you don't have 3-3 against carriers, you're pretty much done. It's really rough to try and come back from that position. If your armory gets sniped, obviously you lose the game, but we'll have to see if Narsil's going to go for carriers. Maybe he'll go for Templar, but I get the feeling he's going to carry us here. Now we've got a dropship coming in here with a tank and 2 vultures. He's going to drop the tank in the back, move in with the vultures, scan coming down on the mineral line, see if there's any defense. Now there is a shuttle here that can help defend against this, but is it going to be in position? Oh my god, he's got some juicy shots here. Nice shot. Oh, if he gets another shot here, this would be massive. 7 kills on the probes already. 8 kills. He's got a couple of kills with his vultures as well. And all the mines make it very difficult to come back here. I think this move may have actually just won Terra the game. Narsil down to 1 base. All of his units are stuck out here in the middle of the map. And he's got no way of bringing his units back. The Dragoon's going to go down to the mines. There's no observer. Losing that first observer was absolutely massive. And even though this realistically isn't that much damage, I mean, the game's pretty much done. Like, Terra, he's found an opening. He's found a way in. Now, it looks like Narsil is thinking about going for a counter push here. But we know that this is going to be ill-fated. The shuttle is going to go down before dropping any... Oh, he does drop 2 of the zealots, but is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. If we zoom out here, we'll notice that the units in the main have been cleaned up from Terra. As a matter of fact, I think he picked them up in the dropship and he flew away. But the tank's on the high ground, the tank's coming in on the low ground as well. Going to be able to clean up all of these Dragoons. Mines coming in to add insult to injury, and kaboom! Goes the dynamite, all of Narsil's units explode, and Terra wins game number 1. Okay, so that was a fairly quick game number 1 there by Terra. Really, really trademark of his style. Just pulling Narsil apart. They're definitely showing a little bit of a skill gap there, but Narsil still tried his best. He did really well early game. Like, he did an amazing job to block that push, and then unfortunately he lost all of his Dragoons to mines. So that's what happens. But there we go. So let's head into game number 2 when we get back after this short break. See you guys soon. Toss a coin to your content creators, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your content creators, a friend of humanity.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
he's the map man! Skibidi-bidi-bidi-on-doo-doo-doo. Skibidi-on-doo-doo-doo. Skibidi-bidi-bidi-on-doo-doo-doo. He's the map man! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Bee-da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kix can do it, so can you. Gooba-dooba-dooba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
Yeah.
Okay guys, starting us off here for EF is going to be the NMAX. This is actually going to be his debut game in the STPL, the Peruvian Protoss player, subbing in for Cruzago. His opponent fighting here for ReV is going to be subbing in for Medinho as well, so a little bit weird, but we've got the Hungarian player, I believe this flag is, Non. He's only played 3 games in the STPL, they were all the way back in 2018. Let's see how he's doing in 2020. Is his vision any better, or is it the same? Let's have a look at the map they're going to be going into. It is going to be Monty Hall SE. Now, Monty Hall SE, pretty damn cool map. Looking forward to seeing another TVP here. We've had a couple, with Terran having the advantage so far, but is the NMAX going to be able to carry on the Protoss pride here, or is Non going to cement another win for Terran here in TVP? Let's find out as we get into the game. Okay, the game has begun, and starting us off in the top left-hand corner, it's the NMAX. And in the bottom right hand corner, it's Non. Now, TVP on this map can be a bit funky. We've seen previously that it's a very good map for drops. It's also a very good map for proxies. So I wonder if we're going to see something a little bit more crazy coming out from DN Max, or are we going to see Non go for something standard? Are we just going to have a macro game here, or is it going to be weird? I guess we'll have to find out as we get through the game. Now, just while we're here, I would just like to point out that today, a brand new Pokemon Snap game was released, and I am so happy. Pokemon Snap on the N64 was so fun. I never actually owned it, but I played it at my friend's house and it was amazing. I am nearly 30 years old, and they are releasing a new Pokemon Snap game. It's been what, like 20 years maybe? 20 plus years since the original game, and we're finally getting one. Oh my god, it looks so good as well from the trailer. Now it looks like Non is going to be the one going for a very quick expansion here, but first he's going to have to glitch his SCV through. And he does it. There we go. I didn't see the stuff for Pokemon Smile, so no, I don't know what it is. I was working at the time and it was only afterwards that like the Nintendo account tweeted out the trailer for Pokemon Snap and I was like, oh my god, what? Ah, he was only scouting with that, okay. He's going for a 14cc in his base, he's going to mine out the minerals that way and then go for an expansion there. It is a little bit more risky to go for this. Now, he's trying to glitch his way over the SCV. I showed how to do this in one of my videos. There we go. You cancel the building, or you cancel building while you're on top of it, and you force yourself over. And this means he's going to get into the base, see that range is going, see the gateway is on the way, and he is going to know there's no expansion yet for DN Max, which is super, super important. From what I understand about Pokemon Smile, by the way, it's something to do with brushing your teeth, although I'm not 100% sure. But I don't really have a place in my bathroom to put it down somewhere where I can like, obviously I brush my teeth on my sink, but my sink is really small and there's no real place to put a phone. So I don't think I'll be using it. Gosu Vigi asking why are they playing on Monty Hall again, because it's the second series. Okay, Non is expanding to the top right. This is so confusing. Why didn't he just mine out these and expand towards the middle? I'm really not sure. Such a weird thing to do, but I guess he's got a plan. I mean, it's going to work out because the NMAX would have scouted it. Now he's not going to be able to, so that's something. We've got a Marine here as well, blocking the probe from being able to glitch its way through. And this is pretty good. Now, are we going to see a quick Robo coming in? Yes, we are. Robo. We've got 2 factories coming in from Non and an engineering base, so he is getting ready to defend against what do you call it? Defend against Reavers, so that's good for him. But on this map, it's very difficult to cover everything with turrets, so Wraith is actually better to go for on this one. I think it was Radley we saw on this map. Was it Radley? I don't think it was. Radley did. Oh no, that was Radley against Terror, I think, where he went Wraith. But it may have been Medino actually. He went for like 3 Wraiths just to basically shut down any shuttle play whatsoever. It was really, really clever. Did Medino play here? Yes, he did. He played against White. Now the first Marine does go down there at the minerals, which means eventually the NMAX will be able to break through and mine this out. But we've got the NMAX going for an expansion. Everything's looking pretty damn good to go into a macro game. Now I'd like to once again apologize well, it's not really in advance anymore, but if you feel I'm a little bit lower energy today, it's because I'm absolutely boiling. I'm really struggling with the heat. We're not even in summer yet, and it's just unbearable. I guess we're about to hit summer, because isn't the summer equinox in like the 28th of June or something? I can't remember the exact date. I think it changes every year, but we're about to hit summer. I guess we are in summer, right? It's either the 21st of June or something we start. Or now, but... Yeah, part of me wants to buy an AC unit, but they're way too expensive. They're like £400 or something, which I don't have. Or buy a fan, and I bought one, and then it never turned up. And Amazon have just said it's lost, claim a refund. It may still turn up at some point. And I've been living in hope that I get a free fan, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now we've got the first observer going down again. This is going to be a win for Non, because the NMAX is not going to be able to scout how many factories there are. And Mewers doesn't. I don't have AC because I live in the UK, and basically, historically, the UK is always cold, or at least it's always mild. It's never really hot. But over the last 10 years, thanks to global warming, thank you boomers, we are struggling a bit in the UK. each summer gets a little bit hotter, and each summer, right now it's 18 degrees at 9:20 at night, which is just too much. Thing is, it's technically quite low.
Here a little for the AC.
Oh, thank you, Lemonheads, for the 2-month resub, man. Means a lot. Yeah, I think I'm a long way off of buying AC, and the trouble is, and this is entirely my problem, although I've been using VR so much, yeah, it's 18 degrees Celsius. There's a storm outside as well. But rather than buying like something that's actually useful like AC, I want to buy full tracking for VR. But to get the whole set, it's like £600, which I technically have the money to do, but I know I shouldn't do it right now. It was 24, I think, during the day. But it's really humid in the UK, so 19, especially when you live in a flat with 2 windows, is not great. We don't have like, it's not like I have a window at either side of my flat to let the air pass through either. I've just got 2 windows at the front. Now it looks like we are going to have a little bit of a push coming in here from Non as he looks to find his way through the middle of the map. We've got a ReV and a couple of Zealots here, which isn't going to be great. Wait, Ghostivigi, are you talking about the UK here? Because if you are, I think I might cry. Okay, nice micro here by Non so far. Only taking one of those Scarabs does do a little bit of damage. And apparently in Oklahoma, America, it's 33 degrees C, and where Muta's Dozen is from, it's 32 degrees C, which is ridiculous. Okay, we've got 4 SCVs up here to help repair this. This is going to be a big push. Looks like the ReV getting caught off guard here in the bottom right-hand corner, doing no damage to the Terran forces or the Terran probes. Now, you need more than 4 SCVs to mine this. If you go for the gas, you can get away with it. But he needed to build, I think it's 6, wait. How many? I'm so bad. 4 more SCVs. He needs 6 SCVs to break through here. Now we've got an SCV up here checking for a base, and there is a 3rd base coming up for DN Max. Looks like he was trying to build something to block it, but didn't quite manage to do so. But because he didn't bring enough SCVs, and he didn't go for the gas trick, this is going to give DN Max time to respond and time to prepare, which is super important. But how is he going to prepare? It looks like he wants to go for a counter. He does have 2 shuttles, so he's going to be able to... Oh, this is really clever. He is going to be able to elevator his way into the main. Thing is, Fuji, Cali has air conditioning everywhere, and the heat is dry, right? So, it was hot like that when I think I went to BlizzCon, and it was perfectly fine. Like, even I wasn't boiling. I mean, maybe it wasn't 38. It was probably around 30, I guess, but it was still okay. It was good. ReV in the main base. Oh my god, this could be good. Only 4 kills, though. Not doing too much. Gets a 5th. This ReV really going to be helping out, doing damage to these units, but it is going to be forced to pick up. He can't really drop this down either, because it's in a very difficult spot. Now, we've got Non. Has mined through the top right. A lot of the SCVs did go down here from the main. The ReV trying to go into the natural, but getting killed by the bunker. And the shot even getting very close to be going down. Very risky. Now it looks like Non is trying to push forward into the main base now. By only mining out one of these, it makes it very hard. But it does give you a very tight wall that makes it very difficult for Zealots to get through to attack your back tanks. Honestly, Non should look to try and take a 3rd base here while he's doing this, but looks like he's not quite ready to. Just kill some of the mines, expand to here, and you're in a very good spot. Now looks like Non slowly edging his way forward. Every time he comes forward, though, that's going to be 2 or 3 tanks that are going to be shaved off, and illicit shined off for some reason.
Keep it up, I dare ya.
STPL to help get AC. It's a necessity for life, my man.
Thank you, Mutas Dozen, for the $5 donation, man. Means a lot. I'll probably stick to a fan. I don't think I can justify owning an AC unit in the UK, but that'll definitely help out. Thank you very much. But looks like we do still have Non pushing forward, but this is the problem. He's finding it very difficult to actually make his way into the base. Like, he's not doing too much damage. Now, this is a good move. He's coming in with some vultures. 2 kills, 3 kills. Oh, thank you, Lemonheads, for the 5 gift subs, man. Means a lot. You can get a window unit, but you can also get one that just, you put like ice packs in it, and it just sits there. And it basically frees its way up here, but thank you for the gift subs, man. Now Non is finally getting ready to push further into the main base. We do have that third base coming up here for Non as well. Now we're finally in a position with these tanks that it starts to become a big issue, but how did that zealot not set off that mine? Words fail me right now, but here we go. Looks like we do have more mines being put down. This is quite risky, but this single tank here definitely going to be helping out. Zealot getting ready, still not going to be able to set this mine off. Oh no, this could be a big mine drag though. Oh, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. The shuttle goes down. The storms though, really nice from DNMax. Oh, he just needs one more hit on this tank and it's dead. That is very nice. But looks like Non has so much into this main base now. Looks like DNMax trying to spread his units, trying to push his way forward. Oh my god, these mine drags could be massive. But no, the Zealots, just they're not setting off the mines. It's so unfortunate, but he just isn't getting the mine drags in. And this means Non is slowly pushing forward. There's still no units being dropped into this main base. And Non is going to be on top of the gateways. And when that happens, it's pretty much game over. But it's lovely to see. It's good to see a nice Terran push work as intended. Oh, but this is going to be big. But the mine didn't trigger again. Non's mines, man. He does not want to kill his own units with them. That is very nice, though. That was a good mine drag. Clearing up the rest of those tanks. Now, there's only one tank up here. Has DNMax done what he needs to do to hold on in this position? He took so much damage, but he's still managing to... He somehow killed all of the tanks here by Non and DNMax. This is going to put him in an incredible position. He's going to take a 4th base down here at the bottom left. There's no way that Non is going to be able to defend against this. Non does not have the base in the middle either, so his natural is almost mined out. His main is going to be close to mined out as well, and he's going to have to find another base from somewhere. I thought for sure that the game was over in that position. Non was on top of the gateways. He did kill one of them, but DNMax with a great hold against that did so well. I mean, Non still with a supply disadvantage. He's only got +1 attack. The Dragoon's moving a little bit too far forward here. Gonna lose and shave a few extra units off. Now, do we even have +2 on the way? We do not have +2. We do not have a starport. And with no starport, there's no +2. And with no +2, there's no Terran late game. You need those upgrades so bad. It looks like the tank's slowly moving forward again. He is slowly getting more and more damage done. But with 2 Reavers here, if he can pull back one of his shuttles from down here in the bottom right, we could see something really magical happen. But this is still such a weird position. Non is going to kill a load of probes here over in this 3rd base. I guess this was the natural to begin with. But the Reaver's getting into position to come and defend this. They're going to make it very difficult for Non to be able to expand. We've got Arbiters coming in as well. The cannon's going to make this a little bit better. Is he going to be able to snipe the High Templar? No, he's not. So the Templar going to be able to survive here. This one is going to go down. He commits Hattie Catty rather than actually holding on. Just throws a storm down on himself to make sure he does the damage before it goes down, and that's a little bit unfortunate. Now we've got the NMAX coming in for a counterplay here. There's no units up here to defend, and these two ReVers are actually going to force away two command centers. Not something you see every day. But I will say that the NMAX using that energy, it may have killed his own High Templar, but that High Templar was dead anyway. Any damage you can do is better than none. Now looks like we are going to have these ReVers. But wait, did these waddle the whole way over here? I don't think there's a shuttle down in this bottom right. No, they can't have waddled down here. How did the shuttle die? That's weird. Now Non still continues to mine off of very few bases here. He's finally managed to secure the top right hand base. He's not actually defending this location at all anymore. Well, I say that, he's got a single tank, which makes this very difficult to hold on to. But more and more Zealots going to come in here, help clear up this tank. And this means that the NMAX, if he wants to, can start to move out of that location. Medino pointing out a pun I didn't even realize I'd made. Oh man. Now the reinforcement path for Non, it takes him a very long time to get up here, but he is getting ready to push back into the main. +2 attack though, it's still not done. I don't even think, yeah, he only just now getting a supply science facility even. In a normal game, he would be on 3-2, like 3-2 by now. We've got a push coming down here at the bottom right. This is going to do nothing because there's no way of making it through here. And this is such a weird game. It just doesn't feel like the NMAX ever has enough supply for the money he's on. Is this a broken replay? Like, he's just not building anything. Okay, he is. His macro is just very all over the place right now. Looks like the NMAX is going to bring his other units back, but I think this is going to be the nail in the coffin this time. We've got a High Templar coming up here. It did storm, only got 4 kills though. And it is going to run into the mineral line, which isn't going to do too much. Now we do have the first Arbiter about to pop. We've got 3 High Templar in here. Now that's actually really good, but it's very hard to micro that. The High Templar goes down immediately, and he's unable to get the storms off that he needs to. So it looks like Non is still pushing forward. Now that's a nice, spicy Mind Drag. The High Templar going to get into position to storm. That's a good storm. Is he going to get the second one? Yes, he is. But every single time, he's barely holding on. And the Mind's coming in now to help this out. Just shoot with the Dragoon! You can kill the tank. You can save the Archon. And there we go. It does go down. Now we have a Dragoon still over here. Going to go down to this tank. 4th base. I guess this is technically the 5th base coming up for the NMAX. And the game is still going on. Both players very low economy right now. And both of them very low supply as well. I don't understand how their supply is so low. It's like they've been trading all of their armies over and over again so far this game. And I mean, the NMAX, he's on 3,000 gas almost. Like, why is his money not being spent? What is he not building? He's just going mass High Templar here because he needs to make use of it somehow. Now this base is going to be mining out very, very soon. We were very close to the elite amount of gas there, but unfortunately not. Very close to it here as well. But currently the NMAX has no way of doing any damage to his opponent. Non has no army to do any damage to his opponent, and we're kind of resetting the clock in this game every time they both engage over in the top right hand corner. It really does make me wish that Non took this base earlier on and just defended this location. But looks like we are going to have 4 Zealots dropping off into the mineral line. Are they going to be able to get the turret? They get a couple of SCVs. They do attack the vultures, not going to be able to get that. Oh my god, if he mind dragged into the SCVs there, that would have been insane. Now we've got DN Max down to 2 mining bases. We do have an Arbiter coming in here for a recall, and everyone knows that recall is the great equalizer for Protoss. But does he have recall finished? I guess we'll find out if we see that Arbiter start to fly in. Here we go. Where is he going to recall? Is he going to recall straight away? Looks like he's not. I'm going to keep an eye on this though, because then we get to see the cool moves. There we go. A little bit early, but it's all well and good. And it looks like none. I mean, he's in a good position, but he's got no way of cleaning up this recall right now. And it looks like he's gonna, oh sorry, it looks like he's gonna clean it up pretty easily. Most of his units were back close to home anyway. And he didn't actually recall that many units. He's used the storms he had. They didn't really do too much. Is he gonna lose the Archon? Oh, he doesn't wait for High Templars. He's just gonna go for, he doesn't wait for more storm. Now he does kill the command center in the main, and that's one less scanner. Oh no, he doesn't. It flew away, sorry. So we've only got 3 scanners now for non, which makes it a little bit harder to deal with any further Arbiter play. But they are pretty full on scan energy, so that's not too bad. He hasn't got anything to kill the Arbiter, but realistically it's not really going to do anything. And it looks like Non is getting ready to push because he knows he killed pretty much all of the NMAX's army. Like, the NMAX's army... Oh my goodness, the mines. The one thing he didn't want to happen there happened. Looks like the NMAX getting ready to take the island base, but is he going to be able to hold on to this push? I've said so many times that non-pushing through here is going to win the game. Is it finally going to come true? There is an Arbiter here, maybe. No, he doesn't have the energy for stasis. There is a... Oh, EMP misses! He misses with 2 EMPs. I'm not sure what the plan was with those, but Storm coming in, this is going to help him a little bit. There is so few units though from the NMAX. Surely there's no way he holds on to this anymore. There is... Oh my god, he's got 3 more Storms. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh no, Storm isn't done! And the High Templar go down. Non is now breached the main base fully this time. He's going to be on top of the final remaining gateways. And he's... Oh, not quite. Now we do have a Storm drop up here on the high ground. It did manage to kill 8 of those SCVs. I do apologize for missing that. Been trying to keep an eye on what I think is going to win the game. Looks like... Oh, there goes another Storm. 9 kills on this one as well. That's a lot of SCV damage. Look at this. Non is down to 15 workers. If the NMAX can somehow clean up these units, he can actually still win. This is crazy right now. The NMAX though, his Zealots rallying into the wrong location. He's going double Arbiter. If he can get these up here, there isn't anything that can shoot down. He's almost got stasis ready. Oh, but the NMAX leaves the game. He had so much money, but he leaves. GG. Non takes game number 2. Now, honestly, I feel like the NMAX could have still won that game. I think he'd just taken so much damage, both physically in the game and emotionally outside of the game from how crazy that game was, that you just couldn't continue. Now that's going to take us into our 3rd game. It's going to be Sugo versus Darking on La Mancha. So we'll be back with that in just a few minutes. See you guys soon.
STPL Season 3. Yeah. STPL DAS. Bio TVP. Wow! No problem. We got dragons to defend. Yeah. STPL DAS. STPL DAS. Mass Scout? Oh, I'm so afraid. We got Hydralisks to defend. Yes. STPL. Fantastic production, fantastic casters, fantastic prize pool. Only in STPL.
I'm about to overload my aggression inhibitors. Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Coast 103.5.
Okay guys, we're back with the STPL, and starting us off here for EF is going to be Darking. He hasn't won a game in the STPL so far, so this is going to be a little bit rough for him, but the series is tied up 1-1, so even if he loses here, EF should be in with a shot still, as Chaelin's coming up next for them. We've got Sugo here for ReV. Sugo definitely one of the more consistent North American Protoss players. He's been good for a very, very long time. He's done really, really well in the STPL as well, and he's currently at a 75% win rate against Protoss, which is insane. Now, the map we're going to be going into is going to be the only La Mancha, one of the more standard maps in the map pool. It is going to be a PvP, and there's not really too much to say other than it's quite difficult to proxy on this map, so I get the feeling we may have a little bit of a longer game, especially with how standard Sugo tends to play. So let's get into game number 3. Okay, starting us off here in the top left hand corner, fighting for EF, it's Darking. And down here in the bottom left, fighting for ReV, it's Sugo. Now of course this is going to be a PvP. There's a lot to be said about PvP. It's a lot more interesting than a lot of people give it credit for. We've had a lot of really good games throughout the STPL and PvP. And given the fact that, I mean, at least Sugo, I don't know Darking too well, but Sugo is one of the most standard players you can ever find. Now, unlike a lot of the North American players, he's not adverse to playing on weirder maps, which is why he's always been so consistent in the STPL. But you can put Sugo on a weird map and he'll find a way to play it what you would imagine as standard. Like a perfect, normal macro game, Sugo somehow manages to make every game that. It's pretty cool, I must admit. Both players going for mirror builds here. Looks like Sugo's a little bit ahead with his build by about a second or so, which is really, really nice, showing a little bit of an early advantage. Core coming in faster here for Darking. Looks like Sugo went for a quicker second pylon first. So Sugo getting ready to build more. Is he going for a Zealot? Yeah, so Sugo went for a Zealot first. Building a pylon means you can go constant probe production, which is pretty good. Core being late from Sugo shouldn't make too much of a difference. But of course there is always the possibility of something weird happening, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Now one thing to point out here as well, Sugo went for the first scout. He's actually hidden his probe in the main base of his opponent. Darking currently has no idea where his opponent even spawned, which makes this even better for Sugo. And it sounds like someone's letting fireworks off outside. It's the 17th of June. Why are they letting fireworks off? Nobody does birthday fireworks, lucky noob. Well, not in the UK anyway. And also, it's raining outside, I'm fairly certain still, so why are they letting it off now? That's like even worse of a time to let it out, when it's like really cloudy, overcast, stormy. Why would you choose this specific moment to go and let fireworks off? Now it is going to be 2-gate for Darking. Now this can actually make things a little bit harder for Sugo, who is going for a quick robo. But Darking, of course, doesn't know that's happening. He's got no way of viewing that. I'm just going to take my headset off for just 1 second, just so I can hear. I really want to see what that is, because it's either fireworks or it's really heavy rain. So just quickly, just for the sake of my own curiosity, I'm going to pause the replay for 1 second. 1 sec, guys. So it turns out it is rain, but it's the water dripping down from the balcony above mine. I've never ever heard that before. I've never paid attention to that sound before. That's so weird. It must be like dripping in a very specific way to like a bit close to my door. Otherwise I wouldn't normally hear it. It's better than where I used to live though, when I used to hear everything outside rather than just nothing at all. Now going back to the game, I did I unmuted myself, right? I better double check. Yeah, I did. I didn't want to start casting. Like, the funny thing is, I actually did an STPL back in 2015, and it was the first thing I ever casted, it was the first thing I ever produced, and the idea was it was like a fantasy league where you would play as your favorite player and you wouldn't know who the other player was. I thought the basis for my idea was that if you didn't know your opponent, you wouldn't be scared by their MMR or whatever from IC Cup. And basically, the funny thing that happened is because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, there was a few casts where I muted my mic and I didn't record my mic at all. So because no one was watching back then, it wasn't until I went to upload the VOD to YouTube I realized there was no audio on the stream at all. And also that failed because literally it was impossible to ever figure out or organize a game with your opponent. It was a massive, massive pain. Looks like Darking, Sugo gonna take down Darking's Observer, meaning that Sugo's gonna get free vision over his opponent's units. The funny thing is though, oh, looks like he's gonna lose his own Observer, okay. The funny thing about that tournament though, is there's actually some STPL names that are playing now. They're actually playing in that tournament. Like, Radley played as Boxer, and in the, like, I made the Bacchus off-game net Star League, which was the same thing, but a solo version. And he got to the final and played up against Widow Killer as Boxer. It was a really cool final as well, and Tai 2 was playing in it too, before Tai 2 kind of become known in the foreign scene, which is kind of cool. Looks like Sugo did push in, didn't really get too much damage done, didn't lose too much either. Looks like Darking from the back of that engagement is going to get a 3 supply lead with just probes. I mean, I mentioned before, and I'm going to say this again, that essentially Sugo has made this the most perfect normal game ever. Now the big difference is that Sugo hasn't transferred his probes just yet to his Nexus, so Darking does have an economy lead. But both of them are essentially at even supply army-wise. Like, I don't know how this happens, but no matter who he plays, the game is always super even. It's brilliant. I love it. It's his stand. It's his superpower. Now, we're going to see either player going for shuttle speed. It doesn't look like it. So I think we're just going to have both players macroing up, powering up, possibly even going for a third base. Could we have a really long PvP here? That'd be insane. That never happens. Trouble is, when you have long PvPs, the reason why they're long is usually neither player attacks each other for like 20 minutes. So I'm hoping that's not going to happen. As much as I love watching super late game PvP, watching PvP where both players are just powering for like 20 minutes is not very fun. It's the one downside of PvP. And the thing is, it happens in TVT as well. Like TVT, sometimes you'll have neither player attacking into each other forever, and then all of a sudden the game ends after one engagement. And it basically becomes what StarCraft 2 was for a while. I don't know if it's still like it, but it's definitely not the best. But still, it's Sugo playing. I love watching Sugo. Not seen too much of Darking, so I don't really know if I love watching him just yet. But the game still goes on. The first 2 Reavers are out. We do have the Citadel coming in. Templar Archive's going to be coming in after this as well. For Sugo, we still do not have the Citadel. I think that's not coming up. Yeah, so tech-wise, Darking is ahead. Supply-wise, Darking is ahead. And economy-wise, Darking is ahead as well. But army supply, they are dead even. Still. Looks like Sugo wants to get ready to take a third base. That is a very risky proposition in a PvP. If it gets scouted, it can be the spell of doom. And looks like Darking's going to scout it. Sugo getting ready to push forward, but with their army supply perfectly even, Darking actually taking a little bit of an advantage here. This is going to be pretty good for Sugo, for Darking even, but... Darking's a lot of units just off frame. I was like, how has Darking got such a small army with the same supply? Sugo getting ready, of course, does have the observer over the army. He knows where the Reavers are, he knows where the shuttle is, and he knows where most of the Dragoons are. Now, is Sugo going to push the advantage here? Because if Darking doesn't have all of his units in the fight at one go, it can actually snowball a little bit for Sugo. Now, looks like we are going to have an engagement here. Let's turn off the supplies so we don't know how this is going. We got the first couple of Reaver Scarabs going off for Sugo. Reaver Scarabs, though, going off from Darking as well. The Reaver's not firing from Sugo, interestingly enough. But the Convex against the Concave, it's... Sugo is doing such a good job in this engagement, but he loses one of his Reavers, he loses both of his Reavers, and suddenly it's Reavers versus none. But look at how much damage that Sugo is doing with his army. He's splitting up his Dragoons, he gets the Shuttle and the Reaver, and he kills it. He destroys the army, and despite having even army supply, Darking is suddenly now down a huge amount of army supply. He's got no Storm, no Reavers, and I think Sugo's going to be able to push through and break the natural. And if he gets in here, he's going to be able to kill the Templar Archives. Looks like a lot of his Dragoons getting a little bit stuck on this pylon. Like, he really does just need to ignore this and go for the ram. Zealots coming down, trying to help clean up some of these Dragoons. A lot of Sugo's Dragoons are very heavily damaged. Like, if they both try, like, if they trade perfectly again, I won't do anything special, but, like, it'll just be crazy if that happens. He's somehow holding on to his natural. He's still got the Pro Blade. He's got Dragoons coming down to help out against the Dragoons of his opponent. Is he going to be able to hold this? Is this really what's happening right now? It looks like Sugo with his reinforcements should have enough to break through. But that was a lot closer than it should have been. A lot of Sugo's units very heavily damaged. Maybe if the probes come out as well to help, he'd have a better chance. But there we go. Sugo with the third base coming up. Darking taps out, and Sugo takes game number 3. Now we're going to go for a quick break, and when we get back, we'll go into game number 4. ReV are going to be up 2-1. Can Chaylin pull the series back and take us to an ace match? Let's find out after this. Toss a coin to your content creators, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your content creators, a friend of humanity. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 4 between ReV and EF. Depending on how this game goes, we could either have a game 5 or the series will end here. There's a lot to go on with. Unlucky noob, that is really good. I'm saving that for another day though. I do not use that banana avatar. The people that use that banana avatar are incredibly annoying. Now, to go back into the series, Shaylin is going to be starting us off here for EF. She is going to be looking to win game number 4 to take us to the ace match. Keep EF's dream alive in the series. She's had an incredible win rate so far in the STPL, 65% over 20 games, very, very good, and a huge win rate against Protoss as well, over 10 games. So let's see how she's going to do as we get into our second player. It's going to be CRVT. CRVT himself has done pretty well, 55% over 20 games, 50% over 10. I reckon this could be a pretty close matchup. Let's have a look at the map they're going into. It's going to be Tripod. Now, Tripod is a really fun map for ZVP even. The last game we saw on here was a TVZ. It was a little bit one-sided. Now, let's see how this is going to go as we get into game number 4. It's Shaylin versus CRVT. Okay, the game has begun, and down here in the bottom left-hand corner is CRVT fighting for ReV. And his opponent spawning up here in the top left-hand corner in the blue fighting for EF, it's Shaylin. Now, one thing interesting to point out about CRVT is I think he's the only Latvian player in the entire STPL. Which is a cool statistic. I wonder how many Latvian players there actually are in StarCraft 1. There can't be that many, right? Latvia, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have a massive population. I may be completely wrong and look like an absolute idiot, but I can only assume that he's the only one. I wonder if there was more before as well. Okay, we've got a hatchery first coming in here for Shaylin. This is a very good economic opening. It is on 11. No, sorry, that was on 12 rather than 11. So, very, very standard build. Shaylin not scouting where her opponent is just yet means this is a little bit risky. It is a gateway first, which is very good against 12 hatchery. Apparently Edward Buttfingers in chat is saying that he is also Latvian. In WCG 2006, 12 people showed up and he reached 5th, which is pretty good. Nicely done. Was CRVT back active then, or is he like a relatively newer player? Now it is going to be a very quick Nexus here, coming in from CRVT, nothing too surprising here. Luckily enough for him, Shaylin doesn't know where he is, so that means he's going to be able to get a... well, Shaylin knows where he is now, but it's far enough away that Shaylin isn't going to be able to do anything crazy. Now it is going to be 3 hatcheries very, very quickly here for Shaylin before a lair. Are we going to see a Hydra Bust, or are we going to see Muteless play, or are we just going to see a standard build? Looks like the Zergling's getting into a position to try and catch the probe. Shaylin is going to be able to do that, which is a very big win for her. Not too much really going on here. Looks like Shaylin getting ready to push through the middle of the map with her drone. These are stacked 0 minerals, which means it takes a long time to go through, but you never have to make a return trip because you never pick anything up. So as you can see, Shaylin's going to break through here. This is going to give her the ability to break through this one as well. And this is going to give her very easy access to this base down here. There's no cannons, and there's no way for CRV to scout this is coming. The first cannon is on the way. But is one cannon going to be enough? There's no Hydras, there's no lair, and there's not too many drones. Is this going to be... No, it's not going to be a leg all-in. Shaylin is producing drones right now, but this is a very strange build from Shaylin. Now the middle has been cleaned up. The Zerglings with speed going to start to break their way through. Hydralisk Den coming in. And let's see how much damage she can do. It looks like CRVT has walled this off pretty well, so I really don't think too much now. Oh no, that's not a tight wall. Oh dear. Oh no, that's the one thing you didn't want to happen as Protoss. Even the other Zealots were in the wrong location. Oh man, Shaylin could do a lot of damage here. This is so rough to get this many Zerglings in your base. A little bit of a miscalculated wall there. It is quite difficult to wall in on this map. Only one cannon as well. Was very, very greedy given the situation. And I don't think CRVT was ready for Shaylin to break through the middle. Now the game isn't over. CRVT does have a probe lead obviously. The Corsair going to scout everything else that's going on. Hydra speed coming in. But even knowing what's coming, it's so frustrating to deal with Lings in your base like this. Now the first Corsair unable to get an Overlord kill, which is definitely not something that poor CRVT wants to happen right now. He needs to find some kind of damage, and taking so much hull damage on the Corsair there could be a big, big mistake. Now there is 2 Overlords here that CRVT could kill, but does he know about them? Looks like he does now, so that's going to be 2 free Overlords, but 2 free Overlords shouldn't be enough to supply block Shaylin. The Lings are still alive in the main base, showing how annoying they can be. Shaylin taking a drone lead now. This is so frustrating for poor CRVT to deal with. Now the Zerglings all do get cleaned up in the main base without losing another probe, which is pretty good. Lair is finally on the way here for Shaylin. Now Shaylin does have the option of going for a Hydra bust here, but looks like she wants to just go up to 5 hatcheries and go from there. The first Corsair could be going down here if... Oh, CRVT getting so lucky there. 1 health, 1 hit away from death. This is such a risky play with these Corsairs, you can't afford to lose them. And oh, look at Shaylin's targeting. That is so good. It looks like we are going to have CRVT pushing out with some Zealots. Doesn't look like speed has kicked in just yet. Do we have +1? +1 hasn't kicked in either, just about to kick in all at the same time. But without speed, this is going to be a little bit rough for these Zealots to get on top of the Hydras. Does need to pull back a little bit, wait them to come in, and broodwall.com is a great resource for walling. You can also see Liquipedia, which is one of our fantastic sponsors for a lot of other really cool, interesting brood war knowledge, and it's very well worth checking out both those websites. Shaylin getting ready here to push down into the bottom left hand corner. Is she going to be able to stop CRVT? CRVT definitely not going to be able to expand again, at least in this direction. But this is a lot of Zealots. They have +1, they've got speed. Shaylin has to be careful. Yeah, Liquipedia isn't the best for wall information, but if you want to help, you can actually upload images to Liquipedia yourself. You can become an editor, and you can put all of the walls in to your heart's content. That's pretty cool. It's very easy to edit Liquipedia as well. There's a big Discord where you can get help. Now it looks like CRVT still pushing forward with just Zealots, trying to find some damage here on Chaylin's army. Is managing to push it back every time, but every time Chaylin moves back, she gets more Hydralisks in reserve, so this is rough. And yeah, Liquipedia is always looking for more editors. The people like Packrat give a lot of time editing a lot of different tournaments. I know Packrat has done a very, very good job helping out with the STPL this season. Now this DT, there is an observer here, so the DT should go down, but if this DT can get into the natural, maybe he can do some miracle. Some kind of a miracle. I don't think so, but Chaylin getting on the high ground, going to make this very difficult for CRV to be able to engage into this actually really tight wall of Hydralisks. DT running in, dying to the Hydras under the Overlord. Definitely not what you want to see happen. Chaylin looks like she's going to be taking us to an ace match here with this very dominating win over CRVT. Storm is done. That is a big storm. That is a big second storm. But there's no more units. There's one Zealot and 2 High Templar to his name. CRVT is going to fall down here. And we are going into the ace match for sure. GG. CRVT taps out. And let's get ready for game number 5. Now, I'm going to go for a quick break. And while we're in the break, why don't you guys decide who you think is going to be appearing in game number 5. And we'll see you guys in just a couple of minutes.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
He's the map man! Skibidi on did it did. Skibidi on did it did. Skibidi on did it did. He's the map man! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee da ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Be-da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kix can do it, so can you. Gooba-dooba-dooba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-boop, ba-ba-ba-da-boop.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
Yeah.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into the ace match of ReV versus EF. This is an incredible matchup here. Starting us off in the top right hand corner in the red is going to be Medinho. And spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner in the blue, it's Chaylin fighting for EF. Now these two players have met before in the STPL. They've only played once, and it was on BlitzX back in Season 2. And Medinho got the better end of the stick in that game. Are we gonna see Chaylin get revenge for that game back then that took ReV into the ace match against EF? Or are we going to see Medinho close out the series with a win for ReV? This is very, very cool. Medinho's TVZ is really fun to watch. Chaylin's ZBT is really fun to watch as well. And I'm really excited to see how this is going to go. Now, Medinho often prepares very interesting, specific builds for maps and his opponents. But one thing to know about Medinho is one of the best 2v2 players outside of Korea, even now, and he's just really fun to watch. So it looks like Chaylin is going to go for a 12 hatchery here, which is fairly standard for her, which is pretty cool. We've got the spawning pool coming up as well. Medinho going for a single barracks and a gas, so we're going to have a tech opening coming in here for Medinho at the very least, which is also exciting because it means we have a risk of seeing some of his longboats, seeing some of his trademark guerrilla style, going for his super aggressive harassment based play. Chaylin, I would imagine we're going to see going into 2-hatch muta here. 2-hatch muta definitely seems to be her build of choice, at least at the moment. I mean, it's the build of choice of pretty much every Korean Zerg right now still. I think 3-hatch will probably eventually come back, but 2-hatch right now is definitely the flavor of the month. But Medinho is going for something a little bit more interesting than I thought. Oh, sorry, I thought that was the second barracks. And I was like, whoa, he's going for a super early gas, super early stim rush. But nope, it is going to be a factory. Ignore me, I got hyped for the wrong reason. It's like when MC Jun saw an observer on the minimap and thought it was a shotgun, a PBT. Medinho's pulled entirely off of gas, so this is going to be 4 vultures and a very quick expansion. Now Chaylin is going to see the SCV, so she knows, as a matter of fact she's going to see the command center as well, so she knows there's an expansion coming up, going immediately for the lair on 150 gas, which means speed is a little bit delayed, but that's pretty good. Vultures coming in, Medinho going back on gas. Now, is Medinho going to go for a starport behind this? No, it's going to be an armory. So I think it's going to be a second factory. Probably going to see Goliath built, or a Goliath coming out for Medinho. It's unfortunately not going to be Valkyries, although Valkyries is actually a really good build against 2-hatch muta. It does leave you a little bit vulnerable to like a Hydra Spire bust, which is definitely possible. We've got the Spire coming up here at the very front. Now, if this was a bio build, this would actually be the worst place in the world to put this. And if we get Medinho going for quick tanks and a quick push with these Goliaths, that's actually in a really risky place still. It does help all in against the Vultures, which is the main purpose of it being there. But if you lose the Spire when you're going for a Spire opening, even if it's a little bit later in the game, it can still cause a massive amount of problems. Because all of a sudden you lose one of your major outlets of damage, you're probably going to lose any upgrades you're maybe going for. And it's very risky, so let's see how that's going to turn out. We've got the second gas coming in for Chaylin, so that's going to be for Muteless 100%. Command center up and running now for Medinho. 2 factories pumping out Goliaths with the Charon boost upgrade, Engineering Bay coming in as well. This helps defend against the Muteless, and +1 armor coming in on the armory. Now, a lot of people may look at this and say, why don't you go +1 attack first? Goliaths against Muteless, because it's actually better to have the armor because it negates some of the glaive damage. +1 attack really doesn't help Goliaths too much. I mean, the later the game goes on, obviously you're going to go for the upgrades anyway. But when you're going against 2-hatch Muteless, +1 armor is definitely the right decision in this position. The first Vulture was annoying, didn't kill anything, but did actually do a decent chunk of damage to the hatchery over time. But the Muteless are flying in now. The turrets are coming up at pretty much the perfect timing, but maybe a little bit late. But luckily for Medinho, Chaylin isn't going to go in for that. There's a turret underneath this engineering bay, which is a really nice position. But you'll slowly start to see why Goliaths aren't that good against Muteless early game. Muteless going to be able to chase down this Vulture, making sure that it doesn't go to where the third base is going to be, so Chaelin can go for a bit of an easier third a little bit later on. Hydralisk speed is coming in. We're going to have Hydralisk range almost immediately after this, and that's because Hydras are really the counter to mech. They shouldn't be, but they're very cheap, they're very low on supply, and it gives you enough power early enough that you can start to mass bases. And the real counter to mech is just having a ton of bases, like a ton of money, being really rich and just throwing units into the meat grinder over and over again until you can clear the tanks up. And that is how you deal with Mecha Zerg. At least historically anyway. Also, Queens can be a very good... I want to say Modern Edition because people didn't really do them before other than Medinio. But basically, Queens are very, very good against mech. We saw it between Soul's Noob and White's Yes Man. Noob flew in with like 15 Queens and killed every single tank, and the Hydras just demolished everything else. It's obviously a risk to try and go in for Queen play, because it is a lot of gas, it is a lot of time that you're wasting waiting for those Queens to get enough energy. But it's definitely good. It's really, really good if you can make them work. SCV scouting out in the bottom left-hand corner. I mean, this is pretty... It's almost like an all-in coming in here from Chaelin. There's no tanks. It's Mass Goliath. This is where +1 armor is really going to come into play. Oh no, the bunker goes down though. He accidentally got some SCVs in here. Chaelin could actually get revenge on Medinio with this push. The Mutas ate so much damage there. But it looks like Medinio is going to be able to hold on, and this is actually going to put Chaelin really far behind of where she wants to be. There's no third base. This had to do damage, and I don't feel like it's done enough. There's enough Goliaths left with these SCVs to be able to hold on, and Chaelin may actually just tap out here. Chaelin obviously really badly wants to win this game for EF. There's a lot of pride on the line here, and EF are doing really well this season. EF are currently in 6th. We've got Clan Revolution in 4th. They're both so close to each other. If EF can win this series, they'll actually put themselves, I believe, ahead of ReV. Yeah, they will, I believe. So this is a very important match. Looks like the... Oh, there we go. GG. Hydralisk moving in to try and deal with this with Medinio with the amazing micro. And that's going to be it. Nicely done by Medinio. He's going to take his win streak against Chaelin into number... Oh, he's going to add 1 to that win streak. And just overall, this was a really sick series. So I'm glad we got to see this one today. We had a very quick series on Monday as well. So good to see Medinio get a win there. Good for ReV as well, because they are really going from strength to strength. In spite of the very strong opposition from EF. Obviously, we do have a win there for ReV, so really, really nicely done. Let's have a look at the results, then we'll round out the stream for the day. So Terra winning game number 1 over Narsil. Non taking down a very weird game over the NMAX. Sugo winning a very standard, very close game against Darking. Chaelin taking down CRBT to bring us to game 5, with Medinio putting the knife in and twisting it, bringing down EF in game 5 in the ace match, doing what Medinio does best, which is win. And that's actually going to put him closer and closer to getting into the top 10 as well. He's ranked 15 at the moment in the STPL, and he is definitely moving his way up, and I shouldn't have clicked that yet. But either way, to round out the stream, thank you once again to all our sponsors, Liquipedia, Matcherino, and Esport Fund, for your contributions to the prize pool. Thank you so much to those of you who are watching who have contributed via Patreon and, of course, Matcherino. And thank you so much for all of you who just come and watch every day anyway, because without you guys, the STPL wouldn't be nearly as fun to cast. Lucky Noob, I didn't use any of your, what are they called, cheerfuls today, but I'm saving them all up. If you want to submit your own cheerfuls, guys, you don't have to leave it to Lucky Noob. You can go to this link. There's a template in the first post. You don't have to have any artistic merit whatsoever. I just want someone that will make me laugh. The teams want someone that will cheer them on as well. And just overall, making anything is really, really cool. So I'm going to go for the evening. Going to go chill out. Maybe play some House of the Dead on Saturn through MUVR. Maybe pop on VR chat for a bit, depending on if anyone's online anymore. And I'll see you guys next time. Let me find someone to host. And yeah, see you Friday.